David Akers, Tony Danza, Tyler Morell, the three greatest kickers in the greater Philadelphia area over the last 30 years. We are blessed to be the presence of one of them. All that he's done with the infamous Sunday from a couple of weeks ago, and how he's used his burst into the spotlight to really move on, take a 15 minutes of fame and turn it into actually a positive career move. But first, tell us about our sponsors, Al.
Let's start
how to talk, apparently.
Yeah. Let's start with Fat Cow Jerky. FatCowJerky.com, or go to Facebook and Instagram. Utterly perfect jerky. Great flavors such as jalapeno garlic, black pepper garlic, honey habanero, teriyaki, pickle, you name it, they got it. And some great new products, even some products for your favorite four-legged friend. Go to FatCowJerky.com. And if you decide to run from the cops and get kicked in the face by a pizza delivery guy, I know a guy. His name's David R. Cherry, workers' comp, motor vehicle, personal injury, criminal law.
When things get hairy, call David R. Cherry.
That's right. Go to cherryinjurylaw.com or 610-565-0300.
Cherry Law.
And if you're just looking to have a good old-fashioned time, you go to Dolan's Bar, dolansbar.com. Quizzo music, great times, memorabilia giveaways, spray tans.
Is that Dolan?
Yeah. 24 East Sellers Avenue, Ridley Park. You can get it from anywhere from 95 or in Delco.
It's a
you name it, you got it. You go to dolansbar.com.
It's PJ made out of leather.
It's Stan Mom's boyfriend.
Dolansbar.com, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, you name it, they got it. Check it out, Dolan's Bar. And we're back.
All right, so we are graced by the presence of the tall drink of water you see here. This is Tyler. Tyler is known, world renowned at this point, for an infamous event that happened in Lower Delaware County a couple months ago that skyrocketed him into the national spotlight. It was. Do you remember exactly what day it was?
That was. It was June. No, it was April, right? April 15th, I think it was.
Oh, tax
day. Middle of April. A Sunday is the only thing I know for sure, because it was the most laid back Sunday of my life, probably until that.
I will lay the picture out. I will lay out the mental image before we show the actual video. You were a delivery driver at Coco's Aston, correct?
Correct. Yep.
At the time, you were working the day shift on a Sunday, not football season. Baseball just started or whatever. Probably a laid back day.
Yep.
Across the whole county, some individuals had stolen an SUV from Upper Darby, and we assume had taken Route 1 or something down around the Brookhaven area.
I honestly can't think of the route that
I
they
looked
would
on a
have
map.
taken to end up there. They would have had to get off at Chester, I guess.
I posted our video April 16th, so
it's April 16th.
All right. Yep. All right. So,
okay.
Because it was posted
Technically, that was tax day this year.
I still went out and did like 5 deliveries immediately after that. My leg had no feeling in it.
Was that guy rushing to get his taxes done? Maybe.
He must have been. Honestly, I think that. Sir, I'm just headed down to H&R Block.
I need my refund. So yeah, if I had to guess, they stole the car from Over Darby, took Route 1 all the way down past Granite Run and all that, and then ended up in the Brookhaven area.
Yeah.
That's what I would think. I don't know.
Yeah, but to get off there, you think you would have made the left on the 352?
You would think.
I don't think decision making was the guy's best part of his life.
I would have thought he would have had his Google map.
I don't think
my Waze took me this way. I don't know what to tell you.
I don't think they were updating their Garmin at the time.
Siri's a real bitch.
But you were you were delivering to a house. Oh god, there's a piece of hair right now. You were delivering to a piece pizzas to a place in Brookhaven, and lo and behold, a car speeds down the street, followed by Brookhaven police. Some individuals crash the car, get out, start running, and you, with your giant, what size shoe are you, like 14, 15?
Yep.
Okay. Decided to just go out there and just place kick the hell out of these.
Drop the hammer.
Yeah, it wasn't a thought of like, hey, I'm gonna go out there and truly pull off a David Akers miracle kick out there. I was trying to bait him into thinking I was not gonna be a threat, but I'm pretty sure this kid had blinders on, and he was not thinking of, hey, this guy's in my way.
No, there was the cops on.
He had no idea I was there, which I'm a little like, I'm a monstrosity of a human being. So
he was fast. He had a good takeoff.
I said this before This kid, there's no chance the cops were going to catch him, and it's nothing against the cops that he just kind of beat him off the line.
Yeah.
And but next thing you know, he's in a full sprint, like about to hop this little fence, and I could just see him being out. So I was like, I can't let him get away. I was like, that's the only thing that you can't let him get away because he's in desperation mode, and you never know what somebody's gonna do. He could go could go and do something to somebody else, and I was like, let me just end this here. I know people in my head at the time. I'm like, people are gonna call me a snitch, a pussy. Well, excuse my language.
No, you're
that out. So
you're gonna get a warning from the FCC.
Zuckerberg doesn't worry about those words.
Yeah, originally you're worried about your car. You're like, don't hit my car, right?
Yeah, right.
First, when he hits the curb, you could see his partner in the crime like hop. It looked like this kid somehow sprung out of the car when it hit the curb, and he ends up on his 2 feet, and he was out in the backyard. And I'm like, why I kind of went towards the situation. I was like, maybe they're not going to get that guy. Maybe I should go get him, and the cops can get the guy in the car. But then after that, he's in this front lawn, and his direction was going. My car's on the other side of the street. He's going directly towards my car. Luckily, he spins out in the grass, and it changes his direction, and he missed by like 2 feet on the right side. So it went from, you're going to mess my car up, to, oh, shit, like, something's about to happen here. I was like, this is coming to an end. His car's not moving at all. I was like, I was hoping just so it would have been a safe situation. He just gets out, hands up, goes on the ground. I mean, if you're thinking of, the safest way to not die in a situation like that.
Not get shot.
Just get out of the car and put, that's
you got me.
They had their tasers pulled on him. All right. How the hell am I supposed to know that? I'm thinking they're guns.
Yeah.
I thought nobody asked me that question on any news interview. What'd you think was gonna happen? I was like, I just didn't know if anybody's gonna get shot. If this kid's gonna pull a gun out and shoot anybody.
Yeah, right.
People say, how do you know he didn't have a gun? I didn't really.
You don't think about it.
Oh, you know what? Let me analyze this. He doesn't. He did ditch something. I think it was they found drugs on him or something. So
was it in a school bag marked not drugs?
Yeah, I'm sure
we had that problem.
Yeah, I could see that.
So real quick,
can you believe there's drugs in that bag marked not drugs?
I know. Who would have thought?
That would be shocking.
Well, real quick,
drugs are fine. Lying, not okay.
I'm going to throw this out. I'm going to throw the video up real quick. Let everybody watch this real quick.
And turn your sound up, because the first 20 times I watched this, I did not know he face planted into the car.
Oh yeah.
And it's this joyful thing.
I took the video and I kind of enhanced it, so it kind of plays back a couple times so you can see kind of up close this dude getting contorted in midair. So I'm going to throw
he was fully perpendicular at one point.
Man, that was awesome.
Oh shit. That's a high-speed chase. Yeah. That's a high-speed chase.
Yeah, you better hit my fucking car, dude.
Oh my God, Jaeger! Oh my God, Jaeger! There's a high-speed chase on No! No!
You fucking idiot! Get on the ground! Fucking idiot! Get the fuck on the ground! Fucking.
He went further.
Yeah. Well, it's all right. So
I won't get tired of watching.
Let's do a Delco Live video breakdown for a second. You watch yourself kind of take a couple. So at that moment, about 3 seconds beforehand, you're like, all right, I'm going to boost this dude across the room. Like that's your thought process, because you think about 2 steps back.
So my
wind up. It was a wind up.
You bait him? Was it bait?
So it was a bait. It was a pizza bait. Honestly, I
one bait. Everyone knows the rules.
Yeah, I wanted to make sure that like I said, he wasn't gonna think I was in his way or something. So I was like, oh, I got here too early. When I started stepping forward, I'm like, all right, I'm gonna trip him up, like shoelace tackle type deal. I wanted to, I did not want. I caught him in the middle of my leg, which last week, so 3 months later, I just finally got full feeling back.
In my leg.
Wow. So I'm gonna have damage to my. I definitely should have taken the cops up on the hospital or just to get it looked at
Yeah.
because I know my leg was I broke. I don't know whatever the bone is there on your shin bone type deal.
You did break it?
Oh, I broke it.
got a
I broke it for
microfracture.
sure.
Yeah.
I mean, I played lacrosse for a long time, so I know like if something's more serious.
Yeah.
Than that. I was the adrenaline and everything like that just took over.
Oh, yeah.
And then like 3 weeks later, it's adrenaline every day. I'm getting 2 hours of sleep a night.
Mhm.
I'm having to do interviews at 6 a.m. the next day, and I don't wrap up my stuff till midnight. So I go to sleep at 2, 3. My adrenaline's still pumping all the time.
Sure.
I never really got to absorb the pain. And so
Well, let me
like
ask you
3
this
weeks, I
question.
slowed down. And one morning, I just woke up and I was like, "Oh my god,
Yeah.
what happened?"
Oh, that's what
I'm like,
I
"Oh,
think
wait."
human being.
3 weeks later.
I just went though. Yeah, the car jack.
Yeah, I forgot about that.
Well, let me ask you this question, like, because you're not going to hear or see it on the video. Like, the moments after, like, what did the cops say to you? Like, what was the final? Like, all right, dude, cool, but don't do that. Like, what were their exact words?
He did. The officer did not say anything of that nature. Like, he wasn't like, "Don't." He wasn't like that was dangerous. He was 100% as if I just kicked a game-winning field goal.
Yeah.
Was he
Like,
coming up like, oh,
he came up. He goes, "Dude, what were you doing? What were you doing?" I was like, "I was delivering pizza, man. What were you guys doing?" I was like, "I got him though. He goes,
Some old
"You
fashioned
got him.
justice.
You got him." And it was like super bad.
Yeah.
So I said this on one broadcast. I think it was like a Canadian radio show, so not many people here heard about it.
Yeah.
But I brought up the super bad. And after I went home to my girlfriend, I was like, it was like McLovin. It was like McLovin when he didn't even trip the guy though in the kitchen. The guy just slipped out from under him, but the cops come up to him. McLovin, nice. I felt like that.
That's
Like
cool.
they're looking at me. I felt it was crazy. Then I turned to the girl at the house and I'm like, "Were you?" I'm like, "Did anybody else see that?" It turns out they all had their phones out. There's neighbors in another lawn with their phones
That
out.
cheese didn't even shift on that.
That-
pizza, bro.
That's the selling point.
As a fat guy, that's the one thing that we all picked up on.
Yeah.
First. Like, dude, that pizza was in pristine condition.
That took me probably it took me probably 2 weeks to realize that was a big deal.
It is
because my focus was not on watching the video and even thinking about it at the time. I had no focus on after the girl didn't open the door wide enough. You can see in the video she has one of the glass storm doors.
Yeah.
She popped it about 5-6 inches. So you see everybody in any comment thread, their first thing is, "Man, deliver me the pizza." If you had a table outside to put it on or you opened the door all the way, I probably would have dropped the pizza down there and then moved on and taken care of business. But I had to hold the pizza. This wasn't like some sort of "Oh, screw this lady. Let me hold her pizza. She can get it after I take care of this crime." I wasn't thinking about any of that.
That's funny.
Yeah, no, I mean, I'm glad the pizza was intact though. I think I'm not sure if the news fabricated the video. I think it was ABC 6 or NBC 10 who got it. There's a video of her with the pizza hours later when they got a news interview. And I don't know if they fabricated brought her another pizza. Wouldn't you think she would be starving after watching a situation?
You probably don't order 2 pizzas when you're not hungry.
Can I just ask a question? If they have stunt pizza, because that would be amazing.
Oh yeah, I mean,
that's funny.
I mean, the fact that they have
stunt pizza man, I think I'd be in the running for a selection.
And it's funny because coming up later this month, we're going to be over at the Drexel Brook at the Streetlight Kitchen and Bar. We're going to be we're going to be telling bartenders if they're doing a good job or not. These guys here, but
I am absolutely qualified for that.
Definitely.
You're qualified to drink the food. Are you qualified to tell somebody that they're doing
Who
their
do you
job
think they
right?
sell it to?
I don't know.
The customer's always right.
We should judge nobody.
No,
Just throw that out there. We have no right to judge anybody in their life.
How many times has there been a movie that comes out that the critics say, terrible, 59%, this is terrible, F-, and then audience reviews say A+, 100%, and it makes $500 million? The audience is more important than the critics.
You're right.
I'll
give you that. So August 24th, we're going to be down over at the Drexel Brook at the Streetlight Kitchen and Bar. PSG will be there, Sterling Pig, and Stateside. But we're going to be there as guest judges. So they should have a pizza delivery contest and kind of give you guys I don't know, an obstacle course
I think I took the I think I took the belt on that one already. I'll hold on to that for at least a year.
Yeah, reigning champ.
Maybe. I mean, Tucker Carlson deemed me the employee of the year.
What was that old Nickelodeon show?
That was it.
And that was it. That was the
it.
show. That was it. But look at him now. I mean, he is.
Let's bring that up. You were literally Tucker Carlson's last guest.
So that was my that
You
was
killed Tucker
so
Carlson.
there was
You
one
kicked him off the air.
Yeah, well, that's I don't like. See, I'm not a fan of when people say that to me. Cause I'm like, hey, man, I was a fan. I'd watched him before. Like, I had taken a break from the news for 3 years before all this happened. Because the news just makes you feel doom and gloom all day. I didn't want to be sad every day.
Sure.
So
I mean, you have to get out there and really experience the carjackings in your community.
then you're on. Then the news comes and literally won't get out of your face. So then I'm like, all right, well, I'm on all these news clips. That was the one that was like, it was surreal. I got to bring my dad down to the filming in the city, and then I took both my parents and my brother.
Was it in New York or in DC?
So that we did one in Philly. That was we were in Philly. He was in DC.
Oh, DC, okay.
Or no, he was in Maine for that one actually, because that's where he filmed. He filmed out of his place up in Maine. But he came down to DC to do a Heritage Foundation dinner. And then to speak with me, which was pretty cool. His whole staff down there had never met him. Everybody who worked on his show had never met him in person. So there was a line of 10 people who worked on his show after coming in to get his autograph because they'd worked on his show for years and never met him. I'm like, holy shit! And I get to meet him.
There's 2 guys on this show I wish I never met either.
Do you fuck off? Do you talk to him before they film, like off air?
So I didn't get to speak with him before I went on. I talked with his producers and whatnot. We did a little run through, but when I got there, he was genuine as hell. I mean, out of a lot of people I interview, you can talk. I got to talk to him for over an hour after the show with my parents. Okay. I got my Aunt Kath an autograph. She was like, she wanted one, so I was like, hey, I need this one like 100%. He wrote it on like a piece of cardboard, I think, from the side of a pizza box.
Yeah. Cool.
Now Aunt Kath has it on her fridge. I don't think it's the only thing.
And it's probably worth a lot of money now that he's got kicked off the air.
I know.
That's 12 hours later.
It was unbelievable. I mean, how much the same he was on the air to off, but he didn't want to do politics. Like he didn't want. He told us straight up. He's like, listen, this is my job. This is what I do. He's like, I like to go home. I like to play with my dogs. I like to hang with my family. I like to fish. I'm like, that's the most simple man answer I've ever heard. That's kind of like me. I'm more so golf than fish, but nonetheless, I like to hang with my dog, go home with my family, and I have a small, tight knit circle. Most of it consists of family members and absolute best friends that I've had from growing up. So I like to keep it that way. And it seems like he had that system in place where he, no matter what anybody says to him, he's one of the most hated guys in this country. I mean, and to be able to learn from him, and he gave me advice on how to be hated. Because I've been hated.
Oh, we could teach you.
Yeah, right?
Oh, it's an art.
You really need a class on it.
The best is when you turn haters into lovers.
Yeah, it is. Well, the best is when you see who's watching your shit. Yeah. You can see anybody who's looking at your shit, and then you're like, wait, I thought you told me to fuck off, or you told me you didn't like what I was doing. Like, oh, but you're watching still. I was like, I guarantee you I'm not watching what you're doing.
That's all that matters.
Nah, you focus on what you're doing. I mean, what you guys are doing is great. I fucking love this county. I mean, I grew up in Delaware County. I'm gonna raise my family in Delaware County, albeit Garnet Valley. Yeah, as much as you guys like to hate, or anybody likes to hate on Garnet Valley.
No, Garnet Valley is kind of the Tucker Carlson of Delaware County.
I can agree with that.
You guys are framing it as Delaware County too, so it's not slower, lower Delco.
So you,
there you go.
You were working at Coco's that day because was that a second job? You were trying to put some money away to do a business venture, correct?
Of course, yeah. But I had actually left another job I was at for 2 years. I didn't get to where we had agreed I would be after a certain period. So I made the not rash move, but definitely impulsive. I was like, I'm not going to be devalued at another company. I know my worth, so I'm not going to be devalued here.
That's exactly how I ended up at Coco's too, by the way.
Hey,
quit the job because I didn't like where it was going.
And I got to say, if it wasn't for all this stuff that happened, I'd still be working there. and I was making pretty good coin, and I was getting myself to where I needed to be. So then for, I had to get famous. So, but no, it was a fill-in job for me for 3 months. That's all I ended up getting to do because of all this. But why you see me so crazy about my car is because 2 weeks before that, I had just been out of work for 2 weeks. I just gotten the job 3 months ago, and I had missed 2 weeks because my car went down on me. So that car was brand new. I just brought that in. It's 2 weeks with that car. So my thought is, no, man. I'm like, no fucking way. Am I gonna?
If you're gonna scratch it up, it's gonna be with your face.
Exactly. Like, I'm like, there's no way I'm gonna be losing this car for any more time.
And insurance won't pay for it.
No, I mean, I had an incident in Wilmington when I was down there. I had an incident where my car, I ended up getting video of the whole block where my car was. This guy was trying to break into my car for a solid 15 minutes. He was using pieces of concrete. I ended up finding the dude. I found him just like a few days ago. But this is one of those things that I'm like, all right, maybe this is my way to. He was a drug addict. He was looking for something to steal and sell. And I was like, first off, they're not going to respond to a call like that. Hey, I found this guy who tried to break into my car a month ago. Yeah. Come down and get him. Like, they're like, we got shootings going on down here, buddy. Nobody cares about. It's madhouse down there.
In hardcore Wilmington.
Oh yeah.
I grew up thinking like SEPTA was rough, and then I got sent to Camden, and I had to start taking New Jersey transit.
Oh
man, this is rough. Then I went to Delaware and learned the joys of Dart.
Oh yeah, Dart. Yeah, we don't take Dart. Yeah,
Dart depots make 69th Street look like fucking Ritz Carlton.
It was but yeah. So long story short, we ended up getting the guy. I'm like, you did this. You broke into my car.
I know it's the guy from Tucker Carlson.
Yeah, right. I'm like, maybe he knew. I'm like, so then somebody comments, "Oh, you deserved it, you snitch." I'm like, oh damn, man. I'm like, God damn. I don't think anybody deserves that shit.
Yeah, well, it's funny. He had his car stolen years ago, and everybody was being very understanding, except for one guy who ran his mouth and ended up becoming a failed comedian. So hey, comes about full circle.
That's why I just had to hey man, that was hilarious. Like what I mean? Screw me, right? I deserved that one. Yeah. The guy just stole a car and went on a 30-minute chase through Delco, risking how many lives?
Yeah, that's true,
but man. Screw me, man. I took he was literally, like we said, he was just going to return his taxes. All right.
Yeah, it was tax day. It was a tax deadline.
Holbrook got his car robbed by a fiend with class. Heroin fiend stole from Ardmore and drove it up to Princeton.
Princeton. Yeah, your car doesn't just get stolen in North Philly. They will steal it out of Ardmore and drive it to Princeton.
You got
park in front of a professor's house.
Yeah,
you got upgraded.
Yeah, the funny way that they found out his car was stolen and all that is that the professor's house called the cops because some poor person parked their poor person car out front of their house, and it was letting off a smell.
Yeah, it had a bunch of Delaware County stickers on the back.
Says honk if you love.
There's a suspicious vehicle that says "Ragingly Delco" on the back of it. Come get it.
I was actually working at Coco's as a delivery driver at the time.
I mean, you
full circle.
If you're looking to springboard your career, or become your own business owner like myself, go work at Coco's. They will springboard you towards a different career.
Somehow.
You won't have to do it for that. Well, 11 years in your case, 3 months, three months for my part.
Somehow, some way,
we found ourselves at this table via Coco's Pizza.
It's Delaware
County. But
90% of this
that's my cholesterol.
Yes, 90% of people sponsored by
Coco's Pizza.
No sponsorship.
They're under new management. I don't want to know the new ones. My allegiance is to Mike Coco Senior and Junior.
That's OG.
OG Coco.
So your new business venture. That's what I thought you would pick up the job to put a little coin aside for.
That's what I was launching
something.
Yep, that's what I was working on.
He launched something. What was his name?
Right
into the side of a fucking Acura.
He was under 18, so I don't think they disclosed the name. So I've been planning this in my head since I was 7. Short story: me and my family went up and did service work for 9/11 victims 15 weeks in a row every Sunday. So I think Sunday had a lot to do with this, it being on the Sunday. It's like, that's when great things happen. So we took cheesesteaks and other goods. My mom was a preschool teacher. We had donations coming in every week. And every Saturday night, early in the morning, we drive up and we're cooking cheesesteaks all day. Me and my brothers delivering them to FDNY houses, police departments. Like one of my vivid memories is going down the fire pole at the fire department after we just dropped a boatload of steaks. It was
was that in 2001
that was
too?
2001. We have pictures and great memories of doing that, because it was awful to go and see, but like the inspiration and the feeling that we got and the feeling we were able to give to other people by doing that, people loved it. My parents, they didn't, they weren't trying to get anything from it. They were just, hey, we're not doing anything here. We're better off going up there. We had a group of friends and family that would go up every week. We'd pack up the Suburban.
That's awesome.
Fire up steaks, people from all over. I mean,
That's awesome.
Me and my brother were only on the pots and pans crew because we were 7 and 8 years old. So we're scrubbing the pots and pans. But I mean, the smell.
Whose idea was the cheesesteaks?
So somebody, as part of, we worked for Ground Zero Food Services, it was called.
Okay.
That's the organization that is no longer in existence because they definitely did their part.
Yeah.
But which is why I'm working with Tunnel to Towers Foundation, because it's the longest standing 9/11 based foundation.
Yeah.
So I'm going to be working with them. 10% of the proceeds from my event are going to be donated to Tunnel to Towers.
Amazing.
It was a dream of I've been manifesting things that I've been thinking about since 7 and 8 years old.
Yeah.
I didn't have it all pieced together at 7 or 8.
Sure.
Every day or every week, I have a different idea of, here's this is what we're going to do. My idea before doing all this went viral, I was going to open up a really small, really cheap rent, try to go the extreme mom and pop route.
Yeah.
Just because I didn't have the financing, I don't have the money. I still don't even have the financing, but I've been able to, people donated like close to $6,000 for me to start this company. I've pumped a good amount of it already into creating all the, just getting logos, everything, like getting legal. We actually today, I just got my letter from the IRS. Which has been
we got ours too.
It's a letter you want to get. It's a letter you want to get. I was approved, and we are fully legal.
Did you get it on time like the guy who got kicked?
What's that?
Because you got it to the IRS on time.
I did. I did. They didn't get it to me on time. I mean, the wheels of bureaucracy move a little bit slow.
Tell us about it. We're supposed to have ours in November.
Yeah.
Come January.
6 months.
I'm like,
later.
I'm telling all these people, like, I got this business because, it says, hey, we're taking care of it. It'll be, I'm like, what is taking so long?
Yeah.
Like, what, somebody else got a Morell's cheesesteak company?
Yeah.
No.
Is that the name of it?
So the reason that I made, the reason I went with Cheesesteak Company is because we're going to do everything. Everything's going to work around the cheesesteak. So the cheesesteak to me is represents brotherly love, being from Philadelphia. Us doing that and driving up to New York all the time and dropping those cheesesteaks off in the midst of tragedy and gloom and terrible situations around us, people were able to look at us and when you see them get that cheesesteak, the look on their face of just like a small reprieve at that time, it was like that feeling stuck with me, and which is why I've always been a fan of food. I've always wanted to cook. Always wanted to start up my cheesesteak shop. So I never knew what it was going to be called. I wanted to incorporate my family in it. I'm 3rd generation Garnet Valley, so I wanted to use my grandfather's last name. Yeah, right. So we were farmers in Garnet Valley before.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, we had a farm in Garnet Valley. Now I look at what's going on in Garnet Valley, and I'm like, hey, we're starting to look a little bit like Upper Darby in a sense.
By the way, those are fighting words out there.
Hey, I don't mind anybody from Upper Darby. I have a lot of enemies in Upper Darby already.
Hey,
let's add to the list.
At least one.
At least 2.
At least two. Yeah.
People call them enemies. Holbrook calls them family.
You ever go to Ashley's? It used to be the
Hilltop Pub. We used to go there. That was our after church on Sundays. That was our spot to go, the Hilltop Pub. And then next to that, the Boxcar Cafe. I'm not sure if you remember.
Yes.
Pancakes the size of your head.
Yes.
Was their tagline. They had women who had 1 tooth. I wanted to say 2 teeth. I was giving them more credit than they were due. They would get one teeth up to your table. They're dropping.
Teefuses.
That's pancakes in Delaware County. I'll stick with that.
Yeah.
It may be my sweat that makes it taste better,
Yeah,
but
I'm
you'll
not-
enjoy it.
Like a mustache and one tooth.
Ah.
Walk up to you and say, like,
I don't know why it's got a wreck, but I
would you
did.
believe it closed down? Like,
I've been my band plays Ashley's every so often.
oh,
and
it's great.
I
Ashley's a great spot.
I love just walking in there and literally just being like, "I'm from Upper Darby," and acting like the bad guy wrestler and like picking like
You're the
arguing
heel?
with them. Yeah,
You're the heel.
the heel guy. Like, yeah.
See, I feel like
I'm from up
it's
there.
not something nowadays to go around promoting you're from Upper Darby.
Yeah,
I feel like that was
That's where I'm
maybe that
from
might
Upper
that might
Darby.
be what
I'm
sends the
used to it.
shockwaves through.
From
Ashley.
Lower Darby.
I'm from Lansdowne.
Yeah, I
but
feel
nobody
like you
knows what the
need to
fuck
say
that
Lower
is.
Darby.
There ain't
now.
nobody eating cheesesteaks from the Upper Darby Cheesesteak Company.
No,
I'm saying.
I'm not sure if I'm going to have a huge fan base out in Upper Darby, but I will tell you our flagship store will not be in Upper Darby.
Where's it gonna be? Yeah,
We
any
haven't
idea?
decided on the
Okay.
flagship location. So right now, what I'm going to do is we're getting a what's going to be called the Morell's Mega Bus, and we're going to be taking it around the country. I've already done this myself. I've driven around the country, lived in my SUV for 3 months. Decidedly lived. I had places to
Oh,
live.
me too. Once
But I
because
was
you-
working-
Holbrook still lives in his car. Not
Yeah.
I didn't know if he was in the basement or not.
Yeah.
So I
He tries to
Attic
be,
for
but we had to
me.
change the lock.
He's upgraded. Yeah. So I had done this before I traveled the country, and I was working
An
remote.
SUV, Jesus, Al, all that room?
I
No,
mean,
please.
SUV, I'm 6'8", dude. I can
Yeah.
barely fit.
I was just saying, people don't understand exactly how fucking tall you are. dude.
Oh, yeah.
Like
it's-
this dude probably saw like a fucking Yeti coming.
I mean, I'm pretty sure I might have hit my head walking through
Yeah.
the door.
Because there's the picture of I went down to the Coco's Ass and like to meet you right afterwards. And I was like, I'm a tall dude. I'm like, you were literally towering.
Oh yeah, you sent the picture of you.
Oh
there,
yeah,
so
that
good.
was. I mean, Holbrook's been with me since day one, which
Yep.
is why I'm so happy. to
Holbrook
come
was on a
and
grand
do
tour
this.
for like 24 hours straight.
Yeah.
He might have been more delirious than usual at that point.
And right after I met you, I went to see Bob Kelly, who got punched in the
Yeah, I'm gonna need to
See
hear
how
about
over
this
the
Bob
weekend.
Kelly incident. Do we have any footage of
There's
this?
no footage.
No,
it's
not
just
yet.
apparently he was at the.
Somebody's
We
got
have it
something
on
out
good
there.
authority.
He was at the. all I know-
Apparently,
the
yeah.
only details I've seen so far is he was at the Orr House.
Yeah.
Orr House in Sea Isle.
what 11,
And he
12
was-
states and out the Orr House.
Get out to the house.
Oh, Orr without the W.
Yes, yes.
The Orr House.
Yeah, so that's all I know is he was there. Apparently, he was there for one of his Kelly's Corner or whatever. It is.
That's Kelly's kids.
Kelly's
He
kids,
got
yeah.
sucker punched at a toy drive.
Yeah, it's a
Oh.
His
ter-
own toy drive.
I haven't even made people that angry.
yeah.
I mean, you know, you can no matter what good you
This
do.
is for
you know,
Glenn Schwartz.
people-
Like, I don't understand what you hit
Now,
him
Glenn
about.
Schwartz, that's a punchable man.
Oh, Hurricane?
Yeah.
Are we talking about Hurricane Schwartz? Yeah.
Yeah.
That is. I mean, that dude definitely got hit before. As a kid. I mean, you could tell. You could tell with the bow tie and all. I mean, but he gives the weather pretty good though. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah,
Not,
he's
as
not
good,
bad.
not as good as Bob Kelly, but that's besides it. Bob Kelly does traffic though.
I'm
right?
waiting for the
Yeah.
twist of where it's actually Cecily Tynan who punched him.
Bob Kelly
Remember
does like the
My aunt is the biggest Cecily Tynan fan.
Remember
My-
when she socked someone at the YouTube
Yeah, I
concert
saw-
like 5
I-
years
yeah, I
ago?
saw
Cecily
that.
Tynan is she's amazing.
We've done the Bark in the Park with her, and it for people.
No,
who
was it
don't realize-
her?
Yeah.
Oh, that was last time. I wasn't at
For
that
people
one.
who don't know how large you are, people don't know how small she
I was
is.
going to say, I feel like if she punched Bob Kelly in the face, her hand would snack.
She socked that.
kind
chick at the
of like
YouTube
my
show.
leg almost did on that full boot there. I was gonna say though, you after the David Akers reference, I've been wondering when we're gonna get the invite down to training camp and at least show. I was a kicker / punter / tight end defensive end on St. Thomas CYO.
Slash-
Okay.
Slash
Uh,
O-line, D-line.
yeah,
slash-
yeah,
That is more organized football than Jason Mailata had in his childhood.
I'm ready to go. I'm just saying this. Nick
You-
Sirianni.
You think you could split the
I
uprights?
think I could kick it the ball. I
As
think
long
I
as
could
it's a
split the
human head.
uprights at least over 50 yards. I'm almost
Really?
guaranteed.
Yeah?
You could
I
make a
used to have
50-yard field goal.
arborvitaes back in my backyard. They were 15 feet high.
Uh-huh.
I used to go all the way back towards the neighbor's house. When I was a kid growing up, I used to tell myself the coolest job ever in the world would be to be an NFL kicker.
I
You
agree.
get like $2 million a year. You win the game most of this. It's kind of like
Not
being a
taking the
lacrosse
hits.
goalie. So I was a lacrosse goalie.
Mhm.
So I never got to win the game, but I always got to save the game. So I like to think I had game-winning saves. When you make a save, your team goes down, scores a goal, it's over. That's the best feeling on earth. I couldn't imagine splitting the uprights. And with 100,000 people watching you. It's probably one of the coolest feelings.
Oh, sure.
That's like finishing up on 18 when you know you got the thing.
But then you gotta be the guy Scott Norwood who fucking lost the Super Bowl.
Yeah, but I've always been good with the. I've had a lot of times where people counted me out and treated me like shit and I'm honestly self-made. I've gotten to this point of I should have never even went to college. I mean, I got my GED out of high school. I'm not afraid to say that. I got held prisoner at Episcopal Academy with 1 week left in school because they said I looked stoned. This is well known. People have not. This hasn't been brought up since, but yeah. So I had to withdraw from Episcopal with a week before my senior project.
No shit.
Yep. So I mean, I will not lie. I smoked weed in high school almost every day.
Oh, how dare you!
Yeah, I mean, what a.
We don't tolerate
what do you know? Here we are in 2023. Well, in 2012, when I was supposed to graduate high school, weed's the worst thing in the world, right? No, it wasn't. It wasn't the worst thing in the world. It isn't now. And now you're seeing everybody because all their kids are getting
Schedule
caught.
1.
All their kids are getting caught and arrested. And so the politicians finally, changed the rules.
It's in the same category as heroin.
Yeah, I mean, come
Schedule
on.
1.
Let's talk that's ridiculous. But I ended up making a move that I thought, all the moves I've made in my life have led me to the point that I am now. So I never second guess if I made the right move. Like I said, what was I going to do? They were going to probably kick me out, right? They didn't have any heart.
So he showed them. He started kicking them out.
So I
one by one.
I quit.
I get my GED, and then I met a really great person in my life. I'm not going to say it. He probably wouldn't appreciate his name on the air, but I had a really good friend of mine. He helped me out, and he taught me how to fix things and make things right. I ended up going to Temple for a year after getting my I got my GED before my friends at Episcopal graduated.
Yeah,
I made moves real quick, and that's why I say when all this stuff happened, I had to think quick.
What'd you go to Temple for?
I went to Temple. I got into their Fox School of Business.
Oh wow!
With,
me too. The door was open
with the GED. Actually, yeah, with a GED, which I'm proud of. And so then after there, it was the first year I hadn't played lacrosse in probably 14 years. So, and I was in North Philly. So I was like, yeah, I think I'm going to have to make a move from here. So I went and took a year off, reassessed. I'm like, all right, what am I missing? I want to play lacrosse again. It was that feeling of adrenaline and, just being in competition. So I ended up sending 2 emails out, one to a Delco legend, Brian Doherty, who's the best lacrosse goalie possibly of all time.
And the most common Delco name possible.
Yeah, he's at Episcopal Academy.
Was John Smith not available?
So I sent an email to him, and I sent an email to Steve Colfer at Cabrini, Cabrini is the most Delco college to have ever been in existence.
Next to Delaware County.
Yeah. Well, no, we're not counting that. They don't have a lacrosse team. I mean, I played with it from Ridley are some of the most salt of the earth people.
Yeah.
Like it was one of the best times I ever had. I was so happy to go there.
I claim Ridley.
Yeah, I almost claim Ridley too. I mean, my mom grew up on Clymer Lane.
Okay, there you go.
Behind Leadham Elementary.
I know right where. Coco's Pizza there.
It's a tough street. That's a tough spot to deliver pizza.
Leadham? Oh, yeah.
Cavaliers, I can fit anywhere.
Clymer Lane, that my grandma had this little alley. Oh, just park behind the alley. Like,
yeah, they have
an alley.
They have like roundabouts. They have every type of road that you can find in Leadham.
Oh yeah,
the circles, the dead ends.
Leadham
is an encompassing area.
That is where I grew. I grew up on that playground there, where they got that mega Wawa now. As a kid, we go up to Davis's Trading Post.
Acres Road.
Davis's Trading Post. They closed that one down by Leadham. I think they still have the one in Norwood.
The one in Norwood's still there.
Yeah.
The other one, the one the other one is now the Little Hut.
Little Hut.
Oh yeah. Well,
Little Hut was across.
I will never ever go into. I mean, I love pizza. Obviously, I would never go in there because I'll probably break down in tears because it was David. It's Davis's Trading Post for me. That's how you want it to be.
Yeah.
And then when you want pizza, Grandmom's got to go to the bank. So we're going over to that M&T and we're going to Double Decker.
Oh yeah.
That's where I grew up. There's a Double Decker.
M&T's like an old school bank too,
yeah,
man.
Well, my grandma was going in there.
Yeah.
She'd come out with an envelope full of cash.
Funny story about that M&T because our studio was on the same block.
It's a great block.
We were like four. We were like four. You know, between where Burgundy is. We were right next to the Burgundy.
I knew greatness. I know greatness. And that's where greatness came
When
from.
we first opened up our business, we found that location. So I said, you know what? That bank is literally four steps up from here. I'm going to go there. I walked in there. They all cowered behind their desk like this bear was going. I must have this hungry look in my eye. I don't know what it is, but I scared it. The old man had his hand on the spray, like he's ready to he's ready to take me down. Yeah. Like this guy looks like he looks like he's up.
He looks like he's from Clifton.
So I made a decision to go with the
What's that smell? It smells like raw fish.
Yeah, that Clifton shrimp, all those Cheetos all over my fingers. But no, and hence why I went with the BHCU on this one.
I remember walking down the street the one time, when I had my hair was really out of control, and this one dude goes, "Damn, you're like the Ridley Sasquatch," and I got really upset because he thought I was from Ridley.
Yeah, I used to rip on my mom growing up all the time because we were from Garnet Valley growing up, right? So we go up to Ridley. I'm like, Mom, you lived here. We have a backyard.
Oh, there's a part down on Ridley.
We're fortunate enough to my parents worked their ass off and got a good piece of land. And so I grew up
good to own land.
Yeah, I'm like this isn't Delaware County anymore.
So I grew up next to the McDade Mall, pretty much,
yeah.
And you could smell the Burger King. Al could probably smell the Clam Tavern.
I'll tell you what.
That's what it was. It was the Clam Tavern.
What a place! What a place!
Was that one?
Yeah, that or my neighbor.
What's our spot?
Damn, I can smell your Clam Tavern.
What's our spot down there? I'm drawing a blank. Obviously, the pizza spot.
Italian Delay?
Gitanos?
No, Gitanos.
Yeah.
Oh, Clifton.
It was on Halloween.
Clifton. Yeah.
Now, so they were supposed to sell it, right? Because I actually went in there and said, "Would you?"
I'm gonna buy it.
I offered to buy the pizza place. Dude. They said, "No, we're gonna have families gonna keep it. We're gonna open." I actually saw some people going in and out there, so I don't know if they're doing renovation.
Were they sealing the copper out of the walls?
That could have been also happening.
That could have happened. I mean,
were they beheading anyone?
All the good pizza joints in Clifton have just.
I wanted to ask about this Clifton beheading because my previous job I was working at was based out of Clifton, and we were at work one day and we saw all the cars out there, and then we get back to the shop and we're reading the beheading.
Yeah, right by another famous cheesesteak joint. Yeah, Waltz.
I was Waltz.
Yeah,
Waltz, man. That guy's thing out front creeps me the hell out.
Oh, the pizza
statue that he's
when
got
I
out
was
front.
16,
I know what I'm talking about.
Yeah. Holbrook actually posed for the modeling of that.
That used to be. I loved their cheesesteaks growing up, but they changed hands.
So here's Waltz. So Waltz, when I was growing up, when I was young as a kid, they were fucking great.
Hell yeah.
And I took mushrooms one time, and I went there, and I got freaked out by that fucking thing, and I hit it, and whatever. But then
he woke up naked in bed next to it.
Oh, long night. But then
I saw it missing for a couple of days.
Yeah,
they closed for renovations for 15 years. Then reopened, and were butthole when they reopened. But now I heard they're good again.
I
have a story about them. I'm not gonna put on the air.
It was not bad. I mean, it was a decent cheesesteak. I'm not gonna lie. Obviously, most places
growing up, that was
most places I test out the cheesesteak. The problem that I have and why I'm excited about my company moving forward is because I now see things on a national scale. I want to bring high quality cheesesteaks to people. Me and my brother. I'm gonna leave a lot of these details out. Me and my brother were up on a recruiting trip in Rhode Island. And we're staying in a hotel room. We had 2 rooms. My parents are in one, me and my brother in the other. We had the unfortunate experience of my parents getting us Philly cheesesteaks. From wherever the hell they got it from.
With sweet peppers and fucking mushrooms.
Once the word Philly is in it.
Oh, yeah, it's done. It's done.
Yeah, you're done. You're done.
So I knew right off the bat we're screwed, right? We're about 15, 16, up in Rhode Island. I'm like, this is not going to end well. But we're so goddamn hungry, and you're in this hotel. You can't get food. Not like you can go down to your kitchen.
Here's some steakums on a Fenway.
We eat it. An hour later, man, I have to tell you, I'm going to leave. Like I said, I'm going to leave a lot of the details out. I'm in the bathroom. He's in the sink.
Yeah.
It was awful.
Yeah.
An experience that led me to the point of, hey, I don't want anybody to ever have that feeling going on.
This will never happen
again. It's not going to happen with my company because my whole belief is high quality. I see all these pizza places and all these sub shops around here. What happens? They're good for a little bit, and then they switch meats, and then they dequalify.
Well, it's that's every new place. Thank you brought that because how many times you've gone to I'm going to try the new pizza shop up the street. You're like first time or two, you try it, it's pretty
good.
It's decent. Then you go in everything's different. The cheese is different. The sauce is different. Like
The dough's
they
different.
want real cheap on everything to save
They
money.
switch people, because they either overhire people and they're paying too many people to be in their kitchen, which is a problem in itself. I mean, some places have 9 people in their kitchen. It's like, dude, you just need a guy on the grill. Pizza is kind of where I never wanted a pizza place because I'm like, first off, it's a lot of work to open up. Like, it's a lot of work to have a pizza shop.
And
Bringing in that much dough, to have the
Literally
dough,
and
the
figuratively.
dough alone.
Yeah.
Like, so long term, we're going to be making our own bread daily. Off the bat, we're going to be as long as I can make it happen, I'm going to be using local bread, right?
Okay.
So like good Philly bread, and I'm going to use them until they can't make me enough. So until I have to make my own bread, we're going to be using the highest quality bread, highest quality meats in whatever area we're in. So we're going to be meat purveying in different cities. Like I said, I'm going to be taking it on the road and going from state to state. I'll be ended up in California for a little bit where my one brother lives. It's not great out there, but I know they're definitely missing a cheesesteak out there. And so we're gonna stop out there for a little bit. We're just gonna open up, do like pop-up type deal. Like I don't know if you've seen the Maine Lobster Company.
I have.
yeah.
Yeah.
So they do a lot of pop-up stuff where they have different franchises and they just pop up in parking lots. all over.
Okay.
So obviously,
Like the Wienermobile.
yeah, a little bit like that.
Which has been popping.
So which is
That wiener's been popping
we're
up a
gonna be
lot.
bringing the Morell's mega bus around. It's kind of like
Is there room for
Flint,
Holbrook
Michigan
to live
Mega
on it?
Bowl.
Love it. Love it.
Flint, Michigan Mega Bowl.
Flint, Michigan Mega Bowl.
I love it. I love
So,
it. I love
Yeah,
it.
no, I'm a big Jackie Moon fan.
Fucking
Everybody
right.
love everybody.
I got the
That's,
jersey. I
How
got
long-
that jersey.
How long is that going to go on for?
So I'm probably gonna do anywhere from, because I think the time's gonna fly. So I don't want to set it too short, but I'm looking at about a 6-month window. As best as I can do, I'm going to time it up with a lot of great sports games.
There you go.
And we're going to
Yeah.
pop up out front of a lot of sporting
Smart.
events. So
Yeah.
I'm a big sports guy.
Mhm.
I mean, I got the Phils going on right now. They just gave up 2 runs here, and I'm hurting a little
Even
bit.
when this airs, that's probably still F.
Yeah.
Yeah, no,
There's
actually,
a 95% chance anyone watching this, that's correct.
yeah, no, I mean the Phils are a little scary right now. But yeah, no, we're excited. Me and my friends, I've been talking about this with them. We've wanted to travel the country and go to different big SEC football games.
Sure.
Because
Dude, college football games, you'll do better than you
I
do
went
in
to
NFL.
Ohio State, Michigan on the way back from my road trip a few
At the
years
big
ago.
house? Or
At
or in
the
Michigan?
shoe.
The shoe.
I went to the shoe. I mean, I'm more of a Michigan fan. I almost went there for lacrosse until my high school tragedy. Huh? but that was a fun visit, man. They took me in the big house
Yeah.
out there. I mean, they were just starting their D1 lacrosse team, and I was like, "This is unbelievable." I knew they were never going to fill that for lacrosse.
Yeah, right.
But to have the ability to go to a football game with that many people, it's like I've never felt more electrified than being in the horseshoe. and being
100,000?
100,000 in the shoe, and the top row of the stadium where me and my friends are, absolutely shaking.
Yeah.
Like it almost felt like the building is actually moving. I'm like, this can't
It
be
does.
sustainable.
They make it so it does move because it would crack under all that.
Yeah.
after a
I
while.
mean, it's crazy.
not just the weight, but the sound and the vibrations.
So,
Yeah.
I mean, that was probably the coolest sporting event I've ever.
I mean, I've been at a
been to.
whiteout at a Penn State game. That was pretty crazy.
OSU Michigan's on another level
yeah,
now. in
yeah.
my
I mean,
opinion.
Can you post up there? Could you drive in like a big truck?
You would probably have to get licensed.
So there you need permits and
Permits
all.
and
for- You would have to reach out to like the athletic department or whoever deals with a lot.
You probably have to write
What's
up to the
funny
venue.
is years ago, before going on my trip, I actually was sending out like mass emails to. I actually didn't even have anything going on, but I would send emails to like all these departments, like who do ticketing and press passes. And I would just act like I'm a journalist. And I'm like, hey, do you guys
fake press
I
passes
started
can
my I had like a little gambling Instagram that I would like mess around with. Minute's Money Lines, I called it, because people call me Minute. So I've had that nickname since 8th grade, Minute Bowl. I mean, I don't know if you need to put a picture up of
No,
Minute
but-
Bowl.
If you don't know who the ball is, stop following us.
I mean, Minute Bowl. If you were to put a side by side of me,
I got to
him,
meet him.
I would look.
I
Like,
wouldn't
I
be
would
able to
look
tell
like
the
a
difference.
toddler.
Yeah.
No, it's true. But like, I was
There's no
a
identifying
tall,
factors
skinny
of it.
rail at one point.
Mm.
Now I'm like way more overweight than I had ever thought
You
of.
filled it.
Yeah.
But
I got it all every time I
hey,
said that in
my
head.
doctors got it
Bingo.
wrong when I was younger. My doctor said I would be like 6'3".
Mm.
I was like 6'3". Oh, that sounds good. And then I
Eighth grade.
Then high school hits, and I'm like, all right, I'm 6'6" now. When's this gonna stop? And then
Now you're just rubbing it
2
in.
years later, I'm 6'8". I'm like, okay, I think I might have an issue going on. Like, I just haven't. I finally stopped growing at like 23, 24 years old.
Yeah.
This guy, I end
I've
up.
been this tall since 8th grade.
Hey,
So
it's nothing to be pumped about, dude, because I'm gonna smack the shit out of my head when I walk out this door.
yeah.
All doorways are 6'8", so if I'm in taller shoes,
Yeah.
I start whacking my head.
Yeah,
You
but
almost
ladies
can't-
love the tall man.
You almost can't pass under the Marty McGee's underpass.
Almost.
Yeah, right.
The Marty McGee's under.
What is that? 6'10"?
It's like, yeah, I think
Well,
it was
it's
6'10".
no.
That's
It's much
what
more
I
than
was-
6'10".
I was just saying
It's funny
6'10".
it's funny you say that because when I was down the shore this weekend, and there was for the parking at the hotel, the clearance sign said 6'10" on it. I took a
There you
picture of
go.
it for a post later, but I'm like,
yeah.
you have
Dude,
to.
I do that all the
Yeah.
time. So like, I'll be going by like a garage or something, and they'll have those little beams that hang down.
Yeah.
It's like this is. I'm like, we'll see if they're
The
right.
gauge.
We'll see if they're.
You know you're tall when you can't walk in under into a garage and worry about it. You know what I
I
mean?
matched up.
You can dunk, right?
100%. What's
You
that?
can dunk, right?
I can dunk.
Yeah.
I
When
couldn't in high school though.
I was
It
gonna
kind
ask
of
you.
embarrassing.
Heartbreaking.
It was at, like the sophomore year, like 6'4", 6'5". Everybody's like, you can. I'm like, dude, I'm like, I am a CYO basketball player from
That's right.
Valley.
I'm a lacrosse goalie.
I'm a lacrosse goalie.
If
Right?
you're 6'6" or taller and can't dunk, that's like having a 15-inch dick but have erectile dysfunction.
Oh,
Oh man,
It's like, who
I mean-
cares, man?
And next on your sponsored ad, Cialis.
Yeah.
Oh man,
It's not our fault we can't get our girls hard, but no, you can. Don't worry about it. Try our Cialis.
try our
Yeah.
Cialis. Now,
Why get hard when life's already hard enough?
Yeah. Don't
now,
you like
now in generic pills on hims.com
Yeah.
for $2 a piece.
And you can lie about your heart conditions.
don't you like
I have
slapping
a
a
tough time
dead
with
fish
those-
against the
with those
wall?
ads.
I don't know what's a more dangerous fucking ad. The hymns where you can literally go in there and be like, do you have a heart condition? Be like, no. All right, we believe you. Or my new favorite ones where it's AIDS commercials where they're like, you won't get rid of AIDS, but you'll pass an AIDS test. You seen those?
Yes.
Where they're like, it won't show up, but
Is
you'll have
it-
AIDS, but it won't show up.
Is it wrong that I know you're talking about that medicine, the AIDS medicine. Is it wrong that it always shows gay couples first? Like saying that only gay people get AIDS? Like I kind of felt like that was a little off-putting. It's like,
I feel like it's like I feel like they're trying too hard to diversify, but they're actually doing the opposite.
yeah, they're going
Yeah.
going so far
Nice,
the
big
wrong
head
way.
there for the pills. Sorry,
But but like in doing that,
big time.
they basically say like why you would want it. Where it's like, are you trying to woo your fucking lover by saying you don't have AIDS, but you have AIDS?
Or like,
Why don't you try this out?
I mean, it's honestly
non-detectable.
just the AIDS ads.
swear, Robert.
It's just the AIDS. You don't see condom ads anymore. I don't see Trojan. I don't see many Trojan
they
ads.
actually-
I don't know if they know they'd be going to the wrong guy because I mean, come on, man.
Yeah.
There was a radio condom ad running for a while. And it was funny because I just think they didn't edit it right. And maybe it was just the radio station I was listening to it on, because it was like remember those shampoo commercials that the girl be there and you go, oh, and it's just she's using shampoo. But it was like that, but they kind of cut it in right at the top of the climax. Like it was like supposed to be like you can't tell the difference between not wearing a condom and wearing this.
Yeah, they didn't pan out.
But like you're sitting there in the car and you're driving along and you got the kids in the back seat and all you hear is, oh my god! Like just like I'm like
now
oh,
for
shit.
station no identification.
Yeah,
Man, it's kind of like my favorite plug ever of an ad is Merrill Reese, and it is grab yourself a bag of hers kettle chips because it's crunch time. Fourth quarter of an Eagles game, the last drive, it's crunch time.
Yeah,
And I always listen on
yeah,
94.1.
Yeah, sure.
And it's grab yourself a bag of hers kettle chips because it's crunch time.
I love when he's completely flustered of the game, but he still has to take them in. He's just like, down goes Foles. They can't get anything going. Brought to you by Premier Orthopedics.
He just like somehow
Like he
gets it in there.
He get his words flipped up, but he knew that ad is in his head.
That has to happen.
It is so ingrained in him. It
Yeah.
is funny how he can do that.
That was
My God,
the
they just blew that. They just blew that. But don't worry, you won't blow it.
I'm telling you, you guys are gonna now hear the games, and you're gonna hear
it's the Matt Blatt splat of the game.
Yeah,
the Matt Black. Brought to you by Matt Black Kia.
Jason Kelsey's been stabbed at midfield. The scene is burning down. Brought to you by.
Premier
That's my
Orthopedics.
hand.
Sorry.
For those who are not
We just
watching
take
this
the lead.
live,
Yeah, we did.
Yeah.
Just take the lead. Let's go.
all right. I was like, sorry about that.
So we got to talk about. Do we talk about the kickoff? Your kickoff of the
kickoff of the kickoff of the kickoff.
Yeah. So our kickoff event.
kickoff of the.
This is for the boss.
This is for the business itself. So I'm fortunate enough to be a member at the Elks Lodge 307 down there behind
Stonecutters.
behind Delaware County's favorite golf course. Not in Delaware County, Rock Manor.
Oh,
Everybody
been there.
knows Rock
Yeah,
Manor
yeah,
from
yeah.
Delaware County. I mean,
I
because
thought you
how
were saying
many
the one that you
courses
can
do we
walk in
have?
there.
How many?
We have like 7.
There's
Cobb's
a couple.
Creek.
Cobb's Creek.
All right,
Cobb's is
no.
done for a
Cobb's
minute.
is done for a while.
They'll be back in.
What's the one in Springfield?
No, you have
Springfield,
Springfield,
Stratford,
overpriced.
No, but what is it? What's
Paxton
it?
Hollow, overpriced.
Springhaven.
Well, what's the one in Springfield?
Well, you got Springfield Country Club. And
No, there's another one.
Paxton Hollow.
No, there's another one.
There's the one down there on.
Oh, Rolling Glen.
Lawrence
but that-
Road.
Green.
No,
Lawrence
Rolling
Green.
Green, but that's private. Yeah,
Lawrence
that's private.
Road. That's not golf
I'm
course.
talking public.
Okay.
Is that where they did?
I'm talking public. All right. Come on.
So-
Delaware County.
No.
Wait, is Paxton Hollow public?
Yeah,
Yes.
public course. Yeah.
Clayton.
Oh well, Clayton's right by my.
Yeah,
that's
yeah,
where I
yeah.
learned how to golf. I used to walk
Clayton.
from my house. I
You'd
live
have to
off
walk into the
322.
dunes.
Yeah.
I'd walk
The
down to the golf
cemetery
course.
at any
love
time of the
Clayton.
night you want to go in.
You ever
Yeah.
seen the
Love
movie?
Clayton.
You ever seen the
7-Eleven.
movie Legend of Bagger Vance?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So I had a dream as a kid, like I was gonna walk down to Clayton Park one day, and there's gonna be this mystical caddy down there,
To help
and
you.
he's just gonna lead me to greatness. I'm gonna tell you right now, it's never happened.
Just kids smoking bongs and fucking
Radnor
keg
Golf
parties.
So, all right, I just
Aronimink
googled
Aronimic's
it.
private.
Oh, there you go.
Aronimic's private.
and
Springfield Country Club, Paxton
We're talking
Hollow,
about private.
golf courses at Glen Mills,
Yeah. Oh, that's by far the nicest. public
McCall
course.
Golf Course.
McCall's Pico, right?
That's the Pico.
That's the
course,
Upper
yeah.
Darby one, yeah.
You had to work for Pico. to
Well,
do
they
that.
put-
Seriously, they did that deal.
Or
with
break
us.
through the fence.
Clayton is one.
Clayton
Yeah.
is the one you have to walk.
Marion is technically Delco.
Worked there for 4 years.
Man, if I could get on to Marion, I mean, I think that'd be the
It
coolest.
is.
Valley View Golf in Newtown Square.
Oh yeah.
Where's that?
Aronimink.
Oh wait, is that
It's
where
like
they
all
did?
the way down.
What the hell was that range called there on Route 3? By Taikoku. You know that restaurant?
Yeah.
Yes.
Fun
I
fact,
remember
live
that.
right there. Right now.
Where is that?
The range is
it was
called.
I've been there a few times.
All the kids from my high school.
Hot
used to go
Shots or
there.
something like that.
It was some name like that. You know?
There's Lanark Country Club.
Lanark.
There's Penn Oaks.
Beautiful course, by the way.
That's
Lanark.
Westchester.
Penn Oaks is where someone's wedding was supposed to be last.
Oh
Penn
yeah.
Oaks, I'm very familiar with.
Radnor is technically
I know. I said
Delco,
that.
right?
I said that.
Well,
It's
that's
not public.
well, I went to Cabrini, so we were technically Delco.
St. David's is in Wayne.
Is there?
It
I
says
played
St.
Penn
David's
Oaks,
Golf
it's
Course.
very
St.
nice.
David's is connected to the campus of Cabrini. It's probably one of the nicest courses. I've ever
Overbrook
seen.
is in Villanova.
Overbrook,
Kind of.
great course.
No, it's Westchester. I think we're out. I think that. Oh, there's a Glen Hardy Golf Course is in
What about Aronimink?
Wayne. I said Aronimink
Okay.
already.
Pitch a putt, don't count.
So Aronimink,
Putt, where you can go on August 11th.
Oh, yeah.
For the 5th annual Delco Masters.
You have to be
Invitational.
invited. So
Yeah.
message us directly so you can, if you want to come, but you have to be invited.
Yeah, it's kind of like when the
still
Phillies-
waiting on my invite, by the way. No, I'm just
send
kidding.
it?
I'm locked up. No, I'm kidding. I'm locked in. I'm going
It's
to the Delco
invitation only, but it's kind of like how when like the Phillies were playing away games, like you could go watch it at the Wells Fargo Center if you were invited, aka just buy the free ticket. Like,
Yeah.
It's invited.
It's going to be a fun event, though.
Springhaven. Did we say Springhaven?
Yeah,
Springhaven, you got that one in
All
there.
right.
I was invited out there recently, actually, by my buddy at Philly Face-Off League, John Bodner. He's a good guy.
Great name.
Cabrini,
Great name.
Cabrini alum as well. He is the face-off
And
king
golf
of
driving range, by the way.
face-off
Is what you're
king of
talking about.
lacrosse.
Fucking
He's the face-off king of lacrosse. He's produced more face-off guys in this country than anybody else.
It's a
Yeah.
skill.
He is literally all he does is people come in and they take face-offs with him.
Yeah.
All like for 3
Like
hours.
the Nicolas Cage,
and
John
then he
Travolta
sends them
movie?
home, and
No
then these
kidding.
kids go become D1 All-Americans. Some are in the pros.
The-
I mean, it's a factory.
The
Wow.
Flyers
Yeah,
more
so-
than once signed a guy just to do faceballs.
I mean, it's not a bad move. I mean, if you're trying to hire somebody to trip people on a soccer field, who the hell would you bring in?
Right.
I mean, better yet, who to kick your game-winning field goals?
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
Brought to you by Premier Orthopedics.
Yeah, brought to you by Merrill Reese and hers.
Yeah, what were we saying?
Merrill Reese.
Oh, the driving range at
It's M Golf.
M Golf.
That's
There
the
it
Summit
is.
Inn?
The Newtown Square. No. You're talking about
It's considered Newtown Square.
Yeah.
To me, it's like it's closer to Westchester in my
That's the disputed land that I'm too familiar with recently called Willistown Township.
Willistown Township.
It's Wikipedia.
It
page
has
is
changed
dead
a lot in that
at
area
best.
though. Up by M Golf, like the 252 and Route 3 area.
Yeah.
When I went to high school, they had the mini Wawa there. Now
It's the world's
you
worst
can see
Wawa.
the mini shell. You see it, like when Wawas go out of
Yeah.
business.
Yeah.
And then,
They
like
can
the one
become
on
Pantry
322 has been sitting there
Yep.
for 15 years.
Well, there's that one. There's the one going up in Upper Darby, going towards State Road or Township Line Road. Right before you hit it, right there. That one has not moved since they took that one down. The one here in Primo Seacane, that Wawa has not.
But the owner was really nice and let us use their
Yeah,
parking lot.
no, I'm
And
just
whatever
saying,
it
but they're-
becomes, you should all visit.
Oh yeah, that is what.
Yeah.
Okay, down at
Yeah.
JT Brewster's.
They're
Yeah.
the person who bought the land, who I think they're going to have grand opening. We should reach out.
They just repaved it though, so I wonder if something is opening.
So the
They just
the
do it.
best is
Yeah.
when places open up and don't change a goddamn thing about the shell. They
Like-
just leave.
Yeah.
They leave. You can.
Oh yeah,
know
the
it was
urgent
Wawa.
care centers were doing that.
It'll be like
It'll be
First Circle Marketplace, and
Mm.
it's like no, that's an
Yeah.
old Wawa.
The least
Same
cheesesteak,
floor
they used to
plan.
get Jack in the Box. That's why it's a perfect square.
Oh.
Or like if like a Pizza Hut becomes something, it's going to be shaped like the Hut. Like, yeah. Oh my God, one of my favorite ones is on Westchester Pike across from Bussies and Collies. It used to be a Window Wizards, but now it's a fucking daycare center. But it looks like a shitty castle.
yes.
Window Wizards
Yes.
used to look like castles.
They probably
Yeah.
thought, hey, great move. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? These kids are gonna freaking love it.
They don't have any red tops anymore for Pizza Huts, do they?
No, I really was hoping that Wawa was.
Is there a
established
big?
that
Are there?
building.
Well, I
don't
remember
think
that
they
there
have
was
any
a.
time.
Well, I haven't been to a Pizza Hut probably since
The only Pizza
my
Hut-
Leadham days. Remember that there was a Pizza Hut that was across the street from Davis's Trading.
Well, the only
Post,
one I
which is-
know
Was-
of in this area is the one in Ridley. That's in a
remember that
shopping
one.
center.
It was.
I always went to the
It wasn't
McDade
across.
Mall.
It wasn't across from McDade.
the Clifton one. You could go in there. You could
the
get robbed.
Clifton one.
You
Yeah.
could get robbed at any point in time. The nicest lady in the world worked there forever.
I worked at Pizza Hut for 7 years.
Yeah, they had the
Delivering
book it.
pizzas.
They had the book it
Jesus,
club.
man.
Oh, yeah.
He's got more tenure in delivering
double-
pizzas than Tucker Carlson.
I
Tucker
will-
Carlson was pumped.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
in his at the same time, if he took 3 steps back up to wind up to kick somebody, he'd get out of breath before he made.
No. Don't,
It's
do
just
my,
how-
don't do my boy
No,
like that.
he's not wrong.
I'm telling you.
I would if someone said second floor, I'd try to like pawn off the order and be like, "There's steps."
Well, all right. So
So for a
Hollywood,
whipping
I guess I'll
elevator?
ask Hollywood if you're in my shoes on that doorstep, and you're like, oh shit, that's what I said. That's words
Oh.
that came out of my mouth. I go, oh shit.
I'm about to
Two
kick
times-
somebody.
two
Okay,
times.
here's what's
It's
going
on.
on.
2 times at Pizza Hut.
Here
someone
we
did
go,
try to
Hollywood.
rob.
Let's hear it. What do
2
you-
times at Pizza Hut, someone did try to rob. One of them was
Then they looked at you and felt like you got to be poorer
it
than
was
I
in
am.
Sharon Hill, that really shady part on the other side of Delmar Drive. That's technically Darby Township. Like it's called like Scott Ave. Like, you know what I'm talking about? You fucking dude, it was the day the Eagles played Tuesday night football where they lost to Joe Webb and the Vikings.
Oh my God, yes.
Yeah.
I was at that game.
It was icy. It was shitty. I'm walking out like the projects down there, 1500 Clifton Ave. That's exactly the fucking address. It's literally the projects. Dude starts following me. He's like, "Yo, give me that bread. Give me that bread." And I was like, "I'm just gonna say, well, garlic bread. You can fucking call Pizza Hut." And they'll
You
bring
want
it
garlic
full
knots? I
down.
got them right here for
And
you.
he's just like, "Nah, bull," and like fucking like reach into his jacket. I just fucking kicked him. It was really icy, and he fell. I like hit him with my Pontiac Sunbird.
Yeah.
He ran away. I call the cops. They send everyone out because as soon as you say gun, they'll fucking respond real quick. Little tip. And I forget exactly what township showed up. It's disputed land, and they're like, "Why don't you just pull your gun on?" I'm like, "I don't have a gun," and they're just like, "The only delivery driver in this area that doesn't have a gun. What
Yeah.
the fuck are you doing?" I was like,
I feel like if you go to register, to carry a license, get your
Yeah.
permit to carry, they're gonna like ask you, is this for sport or pizza delivery?
yeah. But thanks to that Pizza Hut doesn't go to Sharon Hill after dark anymore.
Yeah, right. Is there any real Pizza Huts left in the area at this point? Like
One just
standalone, not in a.
Dine-ins?
One just popped
Yeah.
back up to in Ridley.
Not
Yeah, but that's not a
dine-in, no,
dine-in.
it's
It's
not.
a strip
The
mall.
one I worked at wasn't a dine-in at that time.
Well, I'm just saying, is there any more standalone dine-in?
That's what I mean. I don't think so.
Yeah, I don't think so. Not
Red
necessarily.
Tops. Red Tops.
Red Tops.
Is
Yeah.
Island Ave still there?
I do think so. but-
Island Ave was one of the worst jobs I ever had for obvious reasons.
I think they've done away with all
When the
of them by now.
nicest place in your delivery zone is 61st and Roberts, it's usually not a happy Monday.
Did you deliver for the one on Lansdowne Ave? Because I delivered there. I delivered. I had no reverse. I had this old ass Honda Accord. I used to have to stick my leg out and push back.
Oh
on
my
it.
god.
That one is the one that moved to Collingdale. That's the one I knew.
Okay.
That's
Okay.
how I got set up there. It was fine money.
It's closed.
First, but then it got annoying. Then I went to
Coco's
it was all just
amazing.
during college, and I did go to college for 7 years. So,
I mean, 7
Went to
years.
Pizza College.
yeah,
That's college.
Pizza
That-
College.
That is college.
That's the school of hard knocks right there, ladies and
I
gentlemen.
mean, find me somebody who truly goes to college for 4 years anymore.
I'm just gonna
I
put
mean-
it out there. I'm not a brag that my shittiness paid off, but I went to community college for like 5 years and got all my credits, and then kept accruing credits that would transfer over. Transferred to Temple, and I only had to go to Temple for 3 semesters. So I got like a full college degree for like fucking
Yeah.
$8 grand.
Yeah,
Like at the end of the
hey,
day.
and if you want to get rid of that money, sponsored ad by Joe Biden's
Yeah.
school relief
But
program.
I was an idiot who paid it off as I went by delivering. pizza to
Exactly.
Sharon
That's
Hill.
what pisses me off the most about all that shit. Is like, dude, I'm paying for all this shit. Like, I paid my private loan and my government loan. I'm like, all these people who are the geniuses by not paying for years. So like, oh yeah, well, I'm talking about, like they're actually they were smart in the end. They're getting it all paid.
I know it's an unpopular opinion, but like I'm definitely in like living proof, and I stand by it. Like I went to college.
Showering
as
is
everyone else.
overrated.
You take the 16 credits, which is 4 classes, like at a time, right? You have time to fucking work during the day. Like I know all these people that are just like, I owe like $600,000 to student loans.
yeah.
I'm like, school only costs 120. What's the other ones? Like, well, I was taking out
Well, my
loans
credit cards.
on credit cards because I wasn't working. I'm like, but you had time to pick up a part-time job. Yeah, but then when you get the college experience, I'm like, between like 3 p.m. and fucking 7 p.m. on a weekday, like unless you're playing sports or like we're super involved, I'm like,
So that's always what my issue always was when I didn't have school. It's either practice or you got games. Like come springtime, you could get a job with the athletic department and whatnot and make like $9 an hour. I mean, but
it's actually more than I was making.
it's honestly, that's not a bad gig at that point. But you can't leave the school.
You
in
know,
essence.
people I knew whose parents, like mom or something, maybe didn't have like a big time job, and they just said as soon as they knew their kids were going to college, like the year before, they would pick a college and go get a job at like the front office there because then their kids get to go to school for free.
Yeah, dude.
Oh, dude,
I had a lot of people like who did that. I'm like, Mom, why did you do that?
Yeah,
It's a huge Episcopal Academy move, actually, because Episcopal does either way reduced tuition or free tuition if you are a teacher there.
Mm.
So I have, and honestly,
That's got to be
I don't
about
think-
30,000 a year to go to.
honestly,
Right, 20?
it's in my head as the move my coach from Cabrini when he went and took the job at Episcopal for the head coach lacrosse team there.
Mhm.
You make a move from college. Steve Colfer is one of the best coaches I ever had. So I was thinking, he's going to make a move up to D1 when Cabrini closed.
Yeah.
He went to EA, and I'm like, honestly, he has 2 young kids, and I'm like, it might be the smartest goddamn career move he's ever made.
He just saved himself
saved-
$250,000.
His kids are so young.
Yeah.
Dude. No, 250 grand. Or try 750 from having 2 kids go to Episcopal their whole career.
Oh wow!
It's gotta be like 35
it's
grand a
30
year.
grand plus a year.
There you go.
When I was there, it was 28.5.
Yeah.
I think it was.
It's probably like 30, it's probably like 35 a year.
We were my
140,
parents.
280.
My parents were geniuses in working the financial. I mean,
Yeah,
obviously, because when they hit you up, like they recruited us for lacrosse. I mean, they say they're not allowed to do that. I mean, that's what happened.
Yeah, right.
So they tell you we can manipulate the financial.
Well, I remember when I went to get
Grants
my
and all
my
that shit.
parents, as much as they did put out and helped us the hell out, bringing us to that school, and we met a ton of great people. The fact that we paid a fucking fraction of what all these. I'm like, dude, your parents are fucking suckers, man.
Yeah.
Well, I'm paying 28 grand.
I
to go
remember
to
filling out
second
my
grade.
forms.
Yeah.
Filling out my forms, they're like, well, you know, what about your parents' income? I said, what about my parents' income? I don't live with my parents.
Yeah,
I was like, what
They make
about it?
money?
Like,
I thought
well,
they
you got to put it
right.
on there. I'm like, what about if I don't talk like I do? Well, my
Right.
parents, I have no problem with my parents. But what about if I didn't talk to my parents? Like, what about I'm estranged from my family or something? Like, what kind of? I said, I'm not asking them to put money up for it. If you don't want to give me the loan because you don't have the backing, fine. But I don't want my parents on this. I fought like I was fighting about it. Like,
dude, yeah.
they're like, sir, this is just the way it happens. I'm like,
Well, for school.
maybe for you,
I couldn't get a loan.
maybe for you, bro. That's what I said, but it ain't for
Meanwhile,
me.
I just got kicked off my dad's car insurance.
Oh,
Oh,
man. Well, we're not
I'm
going
not
to
a-
put we're not going to put that on
I'm
the air.
almost a
'Cause
grown up.
We're not going to put that on the air because think about how long Holbrook's dad was covering fucking delivering pizza under his car insurance.
Doesn't that happen at like 26, or is that just
No,
health
that's health
insurance?
insurance.
Nah,
That's
you
health
steal the
insurance.
mail, and he
That's
doesn't
health
know.
insurance. And man, what a crime that whole situation was.
26, yeah.
So the best part is the under the Obama. I'm obviously not getting.
Oh, not health
I'm not
insurance.
getting.
Car
I'm not getting.
insurance.
I know. Well, he said 26. The best part about that whole Obamacare health insurance thing was, oh well, if you don't want to join into our health care, then boom, $500 in
Yeah.
taxes at the end of the year.
How is that not? How is it not?
How's that
fucking
not
extortion?
criminal?
Yeah,
How is that not
that's
criminal?
how the mafia fucking
It
shakes
is.
people
It's like,
down.
oh, you don't want a health insurance?
protection money. Maybe we break this.
Like, come on, dude.
5,000 a week just went up to 6,000.
How much do you love your grandmother? Wait, what does this mean?
What? Like what? Are
Yeah.
you kidding me?
That'll be 10,000.
I mean, that's kind of how they made you feel about like the COVID thing too. It's like, oh, do you plan on going out this weekend? Well, do you like having your grandparents around? It's like, what the
They don't even
fuck?
send letters anymore. It's just a picture of your dog and a guy in a ski mask anymore. like, wait a minute. What does this mean?
My grandma just died of AIDS, even though she's taking that medicine that said she wouldn't have AIDS on her death, because all those people went out during COVID and partied.
Oh man.
My grandma banged Magic Johnson.
That one to me, those commercials like that, man. Seriously, it's like, who are you advertising this?
Yeah.
It's such a niche market, and it's like you're on ESPN right now.
Yeah.
Why am I watching this on ESPN?
I heard one that gives you a taint infection.
I mean,
It's like it's restless leg syndrome.
Well,
or
I
something,
love
or just
the one-
Is restless legs keeping you up at late? Side effect: you will grow a visible mold between your ball sack and asshole.
Oh my
I'm
God,
like,
that's
how
the
does
worst.
That happened.
Taint mole.
Nobody needs that.
No,
They use
but
the word- they use
there
the word
was-
perennium. Or
So I
some
work
shit
in the
like that.
medical field, and
Oh,
for at one point there was this new up and coming. This is like 10 years ago or so. I guess it was like a mood stabilizing medication,
Oh, and those are scary.
and it
Those
said
are-
like,
those
Are you depressed? Take this. You may end up killing yourself.
may
But
have-
you may be
or
happy.
your loved one.
Yeah.
You know, that's always
Yeah.
Take other people out with you.
Yeah,
So
Take this one.
all medicines have the side effect of causing the thing that you're trying to stop.
Yeah.
So if it's a migraine medicine, one of the side effects
Is
can cause
headaches.
more
cause a
migraine.
worse migraine than you're dealing
But so there was one, and it was hilarious because I remember like the commercial, but I remember like the reps coming to sell it to me, and they're sitting there going, like, what are the side effects? Like, well, typical this, that, and the other, the mood, and compulsive gambling. I'm like, wait a minute. Now,
I mean, hey, I mean,
I
the
thought
Phillies
at
are up
first,
3-2 too, right?
I asked him, I said, is this a not a medicine for like it was just an antidepressant or something like that. But I'm like, at first I thought it was
Does
for
it give you
people.
too much ambition?
No, but there's
Does it make you believe?
it's
yourself
not
too
unheard
much?
of with people who have extreme depressive disorders and stuff, like where they go out like compulsive shopping and make big
Yeah.
purchases and things like that.
Or like
So
when
I
someone
thought maybe
throws
it
a
was like something
wedding
along
and-
like that, but like no, they did a so the story is they did a study, and during the study, one guy got in trouble and blamed the medicine study on his gambling habits. So this guy
Tried to cover his losses.
getting his kneecaps shattered.
2 to 1
covering
odds.
his-
That's not true.
Yeah, covering his
It's $500.
Yeah, I'm not buying
Covering
it.
his
Let's
wife-
get the odds on this one.
I
covering
was
his
in the
wife
study.
cutting his nuts off
Yeah.
by blaming it on this medicine that he was testing, and they had to put it on there
They should have said better.
because of those.
One
One guy.
Yeah.
The side effects.
One guy.
That's all it takes.
They could have found a loophole and be like, one of the side effects is broken thumbs. And be like, why? And be like, because you'll start compulsively gambling, and the mafia will come break your thumbs.
Oh my god. Yeah. There's a medicine one time that made make your pee smell terrible.
I'm like, I'll just eat asparagus. buddy.
Diurex does that, or whatever.
Yeah, there's like there's some
Whose pee
Sometimes-
smells
sometimes
good.
I eat
no, but like
asparagus
it's like
just
it's
to
like it
smell
change
the-
colors and smell horrible. Yeah.
Nobody else eats asparagus just to smell the pee.
Sometimes
I mean, that's maybe one of my weird things about
Sometimes I
it.
do it just to you make sure everything's working. You got to throw a tracer out there.
Yeah,
Like eating corn to make sure you're shitting okay.
Like, hey, are my kidneys working all right? Are they
Yeah.
breaking this asparagus
Tracer.
down well?
I like that.
Not the corn.
I like
I'm breaking the corn
It's a
down.
tracer food.
I like that.
Yeah.
Tracer food. I'm going to use that.
All right, guys. Before we head out, I want to also remind you that you know you want to rock your Delco wear. You know, there's
Oh, yeah.
50th anniversary of an album. We're not going to say out loud.
That's beautiful.
yeah, we're not going to say out loud, but you go to DelcoLive.com, hit the shop up.
They can't sue us.
They can't sue us because it's just a cool picture of a rainbow and Delco. That's all I'm going to say.
Coming out of Upper Darby's arse.
Yeah, right in the arse.
Roger Darby Crick Waters. Can't sue us.
Don't also forget, just a sweet shirt that says Delco on it.
Yeah,
If you maybe want to go to your favorite baseball game or something, you wear it anywhere you want. But I like wearing it to baseball games.
I mean, like a player.
Not
maybe,
any specific team or anything like
No,
that.
maybe like a Pete Rose or a Joe Morgan or a Steve Carlton would like this font for no reason. Just I think that they were just big.
I think it's a good looking font. I've never really seen it anywhere before.
Yeah.
Totally a free font.
It's kind of like my Delco shirt that I wear all the time that you guys give me.
Yeah.
The green, that green Delco is unbelievable.
Well, here you go. Like
Yeah,
everybody,
the one that you're dropping
everybody's
right
got their Kelly Green, vibe going on right now
Yeah.
because the Eagles released today their Kelly Green jerseys.
You mean the Boston College Eagles? I don't know what the Eagles are.
Yeah.
I don't know what the Eagles are.
So they have Kelly Green shirts. So we figured we put out Kelly Green shirts.
Eagles.
No, they're actually Bob Kelly green shirts.
Yeah.
Solidarity.
Solidarity with Bob
Bob
Kelly.
Kelly first. Punched at the Orr house.
Yeah. I mean,
I'll tell you where
I've
never
got a
going
lot
is
of
the
marks
Orr
at the
house.
Orr house, but not that
I'll go
kind
to the Orr house looking for vengeance with my Bob Kelly green
of.
shirt.
He's gonna be dressed as fat man.
Bunch of dirty oars down there.
Yeah, the Orrs. The
Your
Orrs.
mother was an Orr.
Wait a minute, maybe
Man,
it
they
was.
never had me down there.
Yeah, maybe
buddy.
it was Kathy Orr at the shore.
Oh,
full circle.
Now it is full circle.
Yeah, but she's CBS, right? Kathy Orr.
She's is she Fox? Isn't she Fox with him?
They
Oh,
all move around.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
real Orrs.
Brutal.
Real.
The real oars are all sleeping around.
Yeah.
Degenerate oars.
There are yours.
No, she's Fox. You're right.
Yeah, she went to Fox.
Holbrook's always
Kathy Orr at the Orr house
yeah.
strikes Bob Kelly in the face. There you go. That's what happened.
The Orr Roundhouse.
That's my story, and I'm sticking to it.
Yeah.
That didn't happen. I don't want to get in trouble for libel. That didn't happen.
Especially with your Bob Kelly green shirt with an undisclosed font about a professional sports team.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
come on.
you know, when you're rocking these sweet shirts, grab yourself a Fat Cow Jerky.
You can use their name.
Fat Cow Jerky. Utterly
Dude,
perfect
their
jerky.
shit's so good.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
I am with man.
That's why it's in. We got samples for if you do come in studio. You can check them out. All these wonderful flavors at fatcowjerky.com. Facebook, Instagram. What's it called again, Spaz?
Snapper Chat.
Yeah. And well, no, it's a Fat Cow Jerky. How you just say it? Fat Cow Jerky.
I got the chips in front of me, the original jerky chips.
Oh, yes.
I'll
These
tell
are-
you what. I'm
these
gonna
are- you should
take
try
some of this.
these.
I'm gonna take some of this home. I'm gonna put up my own personal
Try that,
review
man.
on this. I'm gonna let you guys know what I think.
You're gonna let
somewhat of a
Ron know on
jerky
August 11th.
connoisseur.
Okay.
On
Because
August
I grew up
11th,
at
you'll let
Boost
Ron
Corner
know.
Market, which we didn't really touch on.
Yeah.
Nobody touched on the Boost Corner Market, which is probably one of the biggest Delaware County
Oh, Boost Corner?
staples.
One of my favorite things
Boost
in the
Corner
world.
Market. I do every single piece of my Christmas shopping happens between the
Yes.
days of December 20th to the 25th.
Mine too. We have
Every
someone to
every single year,
Yeah.
I
You
go
guys
there
don't have kids,
and I'm
obviously.
like, man, I don't have it. Yeah, I don't have kids. Yes, you are right. I would
Yeah.
have to
I
go.
don't have
I would
kids,
have to go to the Toys R Us that I hear is coming back.
Ooh.
Yeah, they are bringing
Ooh.
Toys R Us
Petco?
back.
Well, no, Toys R Us apparently is coming back.
Yep.
I hear, and I just hope to God that they get Ollie's Bargain Outlet out of there on Route One. I mean,
Ollie's, yeah.
you remember Ollie? Yeah, right there.
Ollie's, yeah.
Boost Corner Market, best place on earth.
Yeah.
It's where I usually get my jerky. It's high
yeah.
quality.
Yeah.
It goes to Toys R
That's
Us
the
and
Amish
jerky
jerky.
on.
You going to go to the left. Going to go to the left.
But here we are, and we're gonna test out. Some
Well,
fat
if
cow
you,
jerky.
if
Oh,
you want
yeah.
to test out fat cow jerky, you need a delicious cold beer to wash that
I mean,
down.
luckily I've had a couple of them.
Yeah,
so
well,
far,
I go
so
to Dolan's
think the
Bar. That's where
jer-
I get my beer. 'cause that's
The
where he got
jerky
his
might
beer.
wash down the beer at this point.
You bought it at Dolan's.
Dolan's Bar, 23 Sellers Avenue, Ridley Park, DolansBar.com. Get a great tan while you're there because they have outside bar. You can do it. It's possible. If you can't have a good time at Dolan's Bar, you just suck at life. I'm just going to throw that out there.
It's truth.
Truth.
It's one of the best places to watch an Eagles game.
Yeah, an Eagles game.
Eagles,
and you can rock any of our
Eagles, if
Delco
you're-
Live shirts while you're there.
You can wear even the Bob Kelly green one.
Yep. And you know what? If you do something stupid and you have to get punted across the room, you know, I call David R. Jerry at 610-565-0300.
Or you can call me. I'll trip them into the next room. You know?
Workers' comp, motor vehicle, personal injury, criminal law, cherryinjurylaw.com. David R. Cherry.
Unlike that carjacker, David Archerry doesn't get tripped up in court.
Get caught with your hand in the cookie jar at the Orr house.
Did you
Call
punch
David R. Cherry.
Did you punch the local
Esquire.
Fox traffic correspondent? Call David Archerry.
We're waiting to see this guy get taken down. You know, what I mean?
Yeah.
Whoever hit Bob Kelly deserves to have charges.
Somebody's going to make him internet famous soon.
I mean, how is it not popped
he's-
up yet?
I've already put a thread out there on our fucking Instagram.
He's gonna get street justice. That person.
Whoever, yeah.
Street
What do they
justice.
call that? You know, yeah.
Street justice.
Some
yeah.
say karma. I say Delco.
Watch
justice,
him
you
announce
know?
that. I'll be like, it was Ken Shamrock who did it. And I'm just like,
I saw this video.
Brock Lesnar punched.
I know.
Oh.
I saw this video
luck,
of
Bob.
a guy up in Philly. It was in the Fishtown area. It happened like a couple weeks ago. There's another similar police chase type deal going on. This guy's standing in the road. I guess he lives right by there. He pulled the camera from his own house. He's standing outside his house, but he's watching a guy try to break into a car on his block. Well, the cops end up coming up to the guy who's breaking into the car, and he runs the other way. This guy fucking did the same exact move. Like it was
poser.
It was. I was like, dude, that's copywritten.
Yeah.
Copywritten.
How many royalties?
I'm gonna
Call David Archerry.
call
At least
David R.
that angry
Cherry.
letter
Whoever the guy was that he took out needs to call David R. Cherry though, because it was on Philly pavement
Yeah.
that he took him out, and it was like
right onto some boxing rappers.
Yeah.
Fucking.
It's all
in the
blood.
comments, the little comment sections are loaded with "You stole that move from the Delco pizza guy."
There you
And
go.
I'm like, he sure did, but I'm gonna let him have it.
I'm sure the empty
Awesome.
Narcan canisters broke his fall.
He's probably sitting there like the dude, like looking up, man. It's like, dude, you totally stole that move,
Yeah,
poser.
like, I saw that on Instagram. That was great.
All right, guys.
That's all I got.
All right.
All right,
Tyler.
thanks, brother. That was fun.